Atlas Consolidated Mining and Development Corporation. Atlas Consolidated Mining and Development Corporation, or ATLAS, was incorporated in the year 1935. Atlas is listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange, or PSE, and was, until May 1995, listed on the American Stock Exchange, or AMEX. A major restructuring the company's assets was undertaken in years 2004 and 2005, with the creation of three special purpose subsidiaries to develop the Toledo Copper Complex, Barong Nickel Project, and the Toledo Seaweed Water and Reservoir Project. As a result, Carmen Copper Corporation, or CCC, Barong Nickel Corporation, or BNC, and Aquatas Incorporation, or AI, were incorporated and subsequently were positioned to attract project financing as well as specialist management and operating expertise. Atlas was the largest producer of copper in the Far East and was the largest Philippine producer of silver. Atlas has three major customers. Number one is the Mitsubishi Metal Corporation, Philip Brothers Oceanic Incorporation, Mark Rich and Corporation. Atlas is managed by Andres Soriano Corporation, or ADSCO, the holding company for the business interests of the Soriano family. His mission is to contribute to nation building by managing programs consistent with its CSR mandate and the national development goals. Atlas was owned by around 37,000 stockholders, of whom 24,838, or 67%, was on the Philippine Registry for Class A and B shares only. The total issued and outstanding common shares of Atlas as of December 31, 1983 were 50,803,180 shares for Class A and 32,807,628 shares for Class B. In addition, Atlas incorporated a 100% owned subsidiary, Atlas Exploration Incorporation, or AEI, to host, explore, and develop copper, gold, nickel, and other mineral exploration properties. AEI will also explore for other metalliferous and industrial minerals to increase and diversify the mineral holdings and portfolio of Atlas. Today, Carmen Copper Corporation is 54.46% owned by Atlas and has been successfully rehabilitated to become the country's largest copper exporter. Atlas Mission and Vision. Atlas Mission. Atlas shall contribute to enhancing national development by the exploration and development of its mineral properties, as well as mineral extraction and processing to optimize added economic value. Atlas Vision. Atlas Consolidated Mining Development Corporation, or ATLAS, shall be a diversified, competent, progressive, stable, responsible, and internationally recognized mineral resource-based company. Atlas has four major assets. Atlas Consolidated Mining and Development Corporation, or ATLAS, is a diversified natural resource-based company with significant holdings of mineral resources in the Republic of the Philippines, once the country is the nation's largest copper producer. Atlas is again poised to be one of the preeminent mining companies in the Philippines. The first major asset of Atlas is copper. The Carmen Copper Corporation, or the CCC, has been overseeing the rehabilitation of former Atlas Mine in Cebu. The project started in the third quarter of 2007 and is on track to begin concentrate production in August 2008 at an initial throughput of 20,000 metric tons of ore per day. Maximum throughput is projected to increase to 42,000 tons of ore per day after 16 months of ramp-up period. The second major asset of Atlas is nickel. The barren nickel projected in the islands of Palawan holds the fourth largest nickel laterite saprolite deposit in the world. The mine has been shipping laterite nickel ore since February 2007. The third major asset of Atlas is the exploration of portfolio. Atlas controls considerable hectares of mineral rights in Cebu and in other parts of the Philippines. Atlas aims to increase and enhance its mineral resource-based assets through a comprehensive exploration program. Then the last one is water. Atlas intends to utilize its 13 million cubic meter water reservoir in Toledo City to generate pump power storage, hydroelectric power for CCC's mining operation, as well as bulk water supply to Toledo City and or Metro Cebu. Atlas Project Number 1 is the assessment of the mine waste dams. There are about 1.2 billion metric tons of mine waste materials in TCC which were excavated during the mining of Lutupan Pit, Carmen Pit, and Biga Pit from 1955 to 1993. The cut-off grade or lowest grade for mining was 0.5% copper from 1955 to 1969 and 0.3% copper from 1970 to 1994. It is highly possible that some layers in the mine waste dumps contain 0.2% to 0.5% copper. Thus, further exploration with drilling and related studies to recover copper from the waste dumps are under consideration. Atlas Project Number 2 is the exploration for possible extensions, satellites of Lutupan, Carmen ore bodies, and Biga mineral resource. AEG, or Atlas Exploration Group, has updated the plans to further explore the 6 partially explored prospects in TCC, which is the West Lutupan, South Lutupan, Sigpit, Midyawans, Kanapnapan, and East Lantoy. Semi-detailed geologic mapping and grid soil sampling have been conducted in all the prospects, except for East Lantoy, where the prospect is largely covered with the limestone and the soil is not well developed. The first prospect of the TCC is the West Lutupan. West Lutupan is a porphyritic copper and gold prospect that is scheduled for drilling by the second quarter of 2011. This area is immediately west of the operations area of CCC. The Lutupan pit mapping in the area has identified numerous faults and quartz bins with pyrite mineralization. There are small-scale miners in West Lutupan. West Lutupan is a placer gold from gold panning activities in West Lutupan. Viral gold panning sites in the area. The second one is the South Lutupan, a porphyritic copper prospect believed to be controlled by a SW trending fault that is an extension of the fault that controlled the mineralization of Lutupan and Carmen ore bodies. A geologic mapping identified strong southwest trending parallel geologic structures or faults in the mineralized rocks at the southern end of the Lutupan pit. The presence of mineralization is further supported by data from previous records of 2 Atlas geotechnical drill holes done in 1986. The third one prospect is the Sigpit. a gold prospect located at the northern portion of TCC. Reconnaissance mapping show major igneous structures that were noted because of small-scale miners that extract their gold along these igneous stringing beams. Semi-detailed geologic mapping and grid soil sampling was completed for the Sigpit prospect in 2009. The fourth one is the media ones. A prospect for porphyry copper mineralization as indicated by the presence of sphalerite and galena and shallow excavation in the area. Semi-detailed mapping and grid soil sampling has been completed. The fifth one is the Kanapnapan, a porphyry copper prospect hosted by metavolcanics and diorite which contains quartz mainlets with disseminated pyrite, chalcopyrite, and barite. The structures mapped in the area are parallel to the faults which control the mineralization of Lutupan and Carmen ore bodies and Biga mineral resource. Semi-detailed mapping and grid soil sampling of this prospect has been completed. The last prospect is the Islantoy. Indications of porphyry copper mineralization was discovered by a wildcat drilling in the 1960s, showing copper values as high as 0.35% copper in quartz beans containing chalcopyrite and pyrite. Detailed mapping was completed, while grid soil sampling will be implemented in due time.